not boys. You're for taxpayer funding abortion.
I don't mean to interrupt, but
well, that's what's on the table here.
We're running out of time, and I want to ask you about one other issue, and that is the president's relationship with the press. Here is what he had to say about that this week.
The media, much of the media, not all of it, is very, very dishonest. Honestly, it's fake news. It's fake. They make things up.
And Chief Strategist Steve Bannon went much further. Quote, "The media should be embarrassed and humiliated and keep its mouth shut and just listen for a while." But Bannon wasn't finished. "The media has zero integrity, zero intelligence, and no hard work. You're the opposition party, not the Democratic Party. You're the opposition party." Kellyanne, do you understand how offensive that is?
I understand how offensive it was to never be taken seriously that Donald Trump could be elected president. On great days, we were ignored. On most days, we were mocked.
A lot of us reported on it fairly, and that's a different issue.
No, it is the issue because it extends into this presidency, Chris. You can't put a piece of tissue paper between the way Donald Trump was covered as the Republican candidate, the Republican nominee, the president-elect, and the president. It's all the same. It is an anti-Trump screed. It is completely disrespectful to the office of the president. Why? Look at what happened this week. Nobody's interested in learning the policies. It's just
I've been asking you about policies today. I asked you about the vetting. I asked you about Mexico.
Yes,
I asked you about the Supreme Court. All of those are legitimate questions.
Yes,
are they
not every network and every print outlet is created equally in this. But if you read people's Twitter feeds, that crap would never pass editorial muster in a newspaper or on your TV show on your network here, nor should it. And so the idea that tweets are my own, really at 10:45 a.m. while you're walking out of the place where you work,
all I would say is,
are not your own.
Much to the dismay of some of the people here, Fox, I don't tweet.
Look, let
me get to, if I may, to the real point. Politicians complain about bad press. I think you have some legitimate complaints about bad press. The First Amendment protects the press. We're in the Constitution, and it is offensive, quite frankly, to have folks, any politician, but folks who have been in the White House for a week lecture us about what we should and shouldn't do and that we should keep our mouths shut.
Well, no, I think what my colleague Steve Bannon is saying is, why don't you talk less and go listen to America more? Because let me tell you something. I know what he meant. I work with him every day. The media failed to learn America. Donald Trump proved something that the media failed, which is he understood America. The idea that we were never taken seriously in places like Pennsylvania
to say we have zero
and
intelligence, zero integrity, and that we should keep our mouths shut is offensive.
I think it's called listen more. And let me just say something that else happens. It's the way that everything is cherry-picked. Biased media coverage is easy to detect. It frankly helped us because this was such an elite rejection election where the establishment, the elites were all rejected by the voters. It turns out there are a heck of a lot more of them than us, Chris, and that's how we won. Why is that relevant? It's relevant because people, who's cleaning house? Which one is going to be the first network to get rid of these people who said things that just weren't true? Talk about fake news. Talk about alternative facts. What happened last week? I went on 3 network Sunday shows. I spoke for 35 minutes on 3 network Sunday shows. You know what got picked? The fact that I said alternative facts, not the fact that I ripped a new one to some of those hosts for never covering the facts that matter to America's women, the 16.1 million women in poverty as we sit here, the 12.4 million women who have no health insurance. Everybody should feel outraged. The billions of dollars we have spent as a nation on public education, only to have millions of kids trapped in schools that fail them and never really promote and protect their intelligence and prepare them for the world as they all deserve. They shouldn't be restricted by the zip code where they live. They should be lifted up. This has all been a colossal failure, and nobody wants to talk about that. They want to talk about it's always zing, it's always playing gotcha. There's no question that when you look at the contributions made by the media, money contributions, they went to Hillary Clinton. We have all the headlines. People should feel embarrassed. Not one network person has been let go. Not one silly political analyst and pundit who talked smack all day long about Donald Trump has been let go. They're on panels every Sunday. They're on cable news every day. Who's the first editorial writer? Where's the first blogger that will be let go that embarrassed his or her outlets? We know all their names. I'm too polite to call them out by name, but they know who they are, and they're all wondering why I'd be the first to go. The election was 3 months ago. None of them have been let go. If this were a real business, if the mainstream media were a thriving private sector business that actually turned a profit, which is not true of many of our newspapers, Chris, 20% of the people would be gone. They embarrassed. They failed to protect their shareholders and their board members and their colleagues. And yet we deal with them every single day. We turn the other cheek. If you're part of Team Trump, you walk around with these gaping, seeping wounds every single day. And that's fine. I believe in a full and fair press. I'm here every Sunday morning. I haven't slept in months. I believe in a full and fair press. But with a free press comes responsibility. And the responsibility is to get the story right. Biased coverage, easy to detect. Incomplete coverage, impossible to detect. That's my major grievance, is that the media they're not giving us complete coverage. President Trump has signed all these executive orders this week. He's met with these heads of state. He's done so many things to stimulate the economy, to boost wages, to create jobs. Where's the coverage?
Kellyanne, we're going to have to leave
Thanks
it there.
for having me. It's been fun.
And let me say, you didn't rip me a new one.
Not at all.
Thank you.
I talk like a Jersey girl sometimes.